In this video, we're going to be doing some toy photography with the two most legendary of all legendary Pokemon and doing probably the strangest practical effect I've ever done. How's it going, everyone? In this episode of Toy Photography Breakdown, we're going to be doing something really weird, and it's going to involve telekinesis, ramen, and freezing some water. So I recently saw a video on TikTok where somebody was taking some nice hot ramen that was cooked, and they lifted the fork up, put it on like a jar or something, and left it outside to freeze. The hot ramen stream running up to the fork would freeze to the point where it would stay suspended by the frozen ramen itself without having a jar to hold it up or anything. And I was like, that's so cool! And I could totally do something with toy photography for that. And I got thinking, like, okay, so I could do something where, yeah, the ramen's floating and somebody's using powers to float it. And I was like, I could use the Force, somebody, a Jedi using the Force. I could use Elle from Stranger Things using telekinesis. And I was like, wait, I should absolutely use Mewtwo using some psychic Pokemon power to make the ramen float. And it'd be really cool if I did it with chopsticks instead of a fork, and I just got all these great ideas. So that's basically what my plan is for this. I'm gonna take the photo right here on my counter like I always do. Mewtwo's gonna be floating, lifting the ramen up after it's been frozen. As long as that goes well, I'm gonna have Mew flying around a little bit somewhere, and it's gonna be great. So let's go see what action figures I'm gonna use for the shot. Okay, so here are the figures I'm gonna be using. First off, let's just talk about Mew. This is just actually the Mew from Jazzwares. It's a pretty cute Mew. I'm sure they've done quite a few other Mews in the past, but this is just a perfect little Mew. He's floating. It's already perfectly imposed for what I want, so yeah, this is gonna be perfect. So Mewtwo over here is actually the SH Figuarts Mewtwo. This guy's been out for a while. He's also been re-released before, but I got him, pre-ordered him, I think on the second wave reissue of him a while back, and he's just like, in my opinion, like the best possible looking Mewtwo. One of the downsides, however, though, is he can't really stand up too well on his own. I mean, if you kind of put his feet down like that, but that's not really how he stands. And as long as you use some kind of stand, you're all right. Like this old Figuart stand here that has kind of fallen apart. So as long as you kind of just use a, there we go. As long as you use some type of stand with him, he's all right. And so that's probably what I'm gonna do. And I do want him to float. I think that would be really great. So if you can't really find this Mewtwo figure, Jazzwares just put out a really great new Mewtwo from the Trainer series. I'll have that linked in the description below. It's from Target. I'm sure you'll be able to find him at Target also. But Mewtwo, the OG legendary Pokemon, you know? Come on. As far as the noodle figures that I'll be using, I'm going to be using the highly articulated Maruchan Instant Lunch Chicken Flavor. I pre-ordered these from Walmart. I went and picked them up. I've been really looking forward. But no, I mean, I actually did decide to use Maruchan, or however you say it, because it's just a super recognizable brand, and I think just having that recognizable brand in the photo is just another thing that can kind of step it up and have something in it for people to connect with when they see the photo, you know? Okay, well, I guess the next thing to do is to just start cooking this. Okay, so the ramen is all cooked up, as you can see. And I'm not gonna lie, I have already had several bites of it because I couldn't help myself. And it was really hot and I burned myself. So the goal is to take this vitamin water bottle, kind of scoop some of the ramen, and then like tape it to the vitamin water bottle like that, and then put it in the freezer like this so it stays totally suspended like that, and it freezes and it holds it up. Hopefully I can do it. It's gonna be tough. I'm actually in the winter in upstate New York right now, and it usually can get like incredibly cold, and I was just gonna do this outside, but it's actually relatively warm, and it's only like high 30s and 40s. So I'm just gonna use my freezer, which actually works, because then no matter where you are, if you've got a freezer, you can do this technique and try it out. So every month on my YouTube channel, I do host a live reaction stream where I react to 100 awesome toy photos that people have taken and submitted into the challenge. And they always have some really wacky, dumb theme. And so this month's theme is Noodles. This is gonna be my entry to the challenge. So if you are interested in joining one of these challenges, I'll have all the information in the video description. Plus, I always have them on the community channel on YouTube and also listed as my first pinned post on Instagram along with the first story highlight on Instagram as well. Okay, I finally have it. I had to switch out the vitamin water bottle for this big tea bottle thing my wife has, and so far it looks really good. There's plenty of noodle in there that I think will get support when it freezes. And before this gets all messed up, I am gonna go take this thing and put it in the freezer. So let's go. Okay, so while the noodles are freezing, I got everything set up so then once I can take them out, I can just put it up, take the shot, and not have to worry about it melting or anything like that. So let's just take a look and see what I've got ready to go already. Okay, so I've got Mewtwo set up just like this. I'm using the stand to hold his tail up. I decided not to make him float. I think it looks kind of cool where he's just on his tippy toes, and it works better with the height of everything too. I think if he was too high, it would have been weird. I've got a bunch of lights here. I've got lights down here, over there, and then behind him. My goal is just to get great rim lighting all the way around stuff. You can see that Mewtwo's got some fantastic rim lighting going all the way around his arms and his tail and his head and all that stuff, which is exactly what I want. And if you're interested in any of the lights, any of the gear I'm using at all, I've got everything, the lights, atmosphere, aerosol, all of that linked in the description of the video. Discounts, everything. If you need any of that stuff, head right over there. So once everything is out, I'll put the noodle cup here with the chopsticks right over his head, and I'll take some of this atmosphere aerosol, and I'll do a little, just so it looks like the noodles are hot and steamy, because clearly they're not gonna be hot or steamy. I think it'll look really cool with having this make it look like it's hot and steamy. So I've got Mew on my little skewer stick here with sticky tack. And so wherever I need him to go, I can kind of just stick him over here and take the shot just like that. It's much easier this way for me to just do it myself as opposed to getting all kinds of stands and whatnot. I can just kind of stick them wherever I want in camera. That's gonna make things so much easier like that. So if I look in my freezer, it's actually frozen quite well up here, but down here, it is not, and I do want to make sure I have all of this frozen. So it's all very sturdy and like a foundation to hold this stuff up.
3 hours later.
Okay, pretty sure it's done. Pretty hard, so I'm going to try and very carefully remove the tape from here right now, and then I'm going to take it out and take my shot. Here we are. I've got it all here and it's all set up, and look at it. In all of its glory, it's staying up and it's hard and it's starting to melt a little bit, so I'm gonna hurry this up as quickly as possible. I noticed the chopsticks were not quite tall enough. They were a little bit short, so I actually put it on top of a couple of these little random plastic things to bring it up a little bit, and then it also will make it look like he's floating the entire thing, which is kind of cool. And in camera, it's like a little bit off, like it's crooked and like it's floating, which looks cool. I wasn't hoping to do that, but it looks really good. So I just need to take a couple of shots really quick with some atmosphere aerosol, just like, and then I can get some steam coming out of the noodles. And I've got lights all over the place. I actually put a couple way in the back here. These are the old Loom Cube Airs. And so I can get a nice little bit of bokeh in the background, if you can see that, which looks quite nice, I think. And the only other thing for me to do is to hover Mew over the top like this. He's just floating, hanging around. I'll take a couple shots like that, and that'll be it. And then other than that, I think it's all set. So I very stupidly completely forgot to record my editing of this photo, which I do think actually came out quite good. Basically what I did to get this final image here is I combined this image and this image together. This one had Mew, this one had my fog in it, and I went ahead and used the remove tool over here to get rid of the stands, all the things I needed to get rid of, and all of the tips that I used to edit this stuff, including removing the stands, the lens flares, the bokeh, all the overall lighting adjustments that I did make. You can find all of the tips in these 3 videos that I have right here on the screen. I'll also have them linked in the video description as well. Sorry I didn't go through the whole thing, but I promise all the tips are in there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was actually a ton of fun, and I would love to see if anyone tries this out with any other type of, I don't know, frozen food that would work. I don't know. But if you did enjoy it, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That would be fantastic. And again, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.